Hello and welcome to the Music Shack podcast. This is episode number 7. This week you're joined by myself, Bruce,
Ron,
and Ed. We'll be taking a look at the Billboard charts. What do we got?
All right.
We got the artist charts. Lady Gaga's number 1. The Weeknd's number 2. Luke Combs number 3.
Post Malone at number 4, Lil Baby at number 5.
And the Baby's 6. Drake's 7. Roddy Ricch is 8. Harry Styles is 9. And Billie Eilish is 10.
Still in the top 10.
somehow.
Well, I mean,
She actually went up, so she was out of the top 10 for a little bit. She went up to 10.
I mean, Lil Baby's My Turn is number 1 album again.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm seeing a trend here.
you see trends.
The box.
Hold-
We're going to have another box situation probably.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I think it's had its run.
Okay.
We'll see you this time.
We will see, but I think it's had its run.
But moving on to our Hot 100. We're going to be taking a look at the top 5 songs. Well, I guess top 6. We have top 6 screenshotted here. But we have Rockstar by DaBaby at number 1. We have Savage by Megan Thee Stallion at number 2. Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, number 3. Say So by Doja Cat featuring Nicki Minaj, specifically that version, at number 4.
If we're gonna get specific, Meg Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce
For Savage, yeah.
for Savage. Yes,
And then number 5 is Intentions by Justin Bieber.
featuring Quavo.
Yeah.
Took a nice little jump up.
And then we have Drake at number 6 with Tootsie Slide. Because, that's a title.
It is a title.
That's a title.
All right.
Not something I would expect out of a box office album. So
No,
I'm
it's
gonna-
something I would expect.
Eh,
Especially from Drake.
All right.
I guess so.
And then for our albums, we have My Turn by Lil Baby at
Yep.
number 1. Chromatica at number 2 by Lady Gaga. So
Yep.
she went down a spot. Wanna by Gunna at number 3. That's a fun play on words.
It is fun to say as well.
Wanna Gunna.
What by Gunna?
High Off Life by Future, number 4.
Dope album.
Dark Lane Tempo Tapes by Drake at number 5. That's a mouthful.
Dark Lane demo tapes.
Demo tapes. Again,
I
it's a
actually
mouthful.
haven't checked that one out.
It's a
so-
mouthful. Blame It On Baby by DaBaby at number 6.
Yep.
And from what we can see here, it's we have Polo G with The Goat at number 7.
Yeah. Did y'all get a chance to listen to My Turn at all? Or do you remember your take on it the last time you heard the album?
I think I had a couple that I liked off of it. I'd have to go back through it again just to remember exactly what it was.
Okay.
But if I remember correctly, I think I liked some of it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I liked It Can Get Ugly, which was the first song on the album. Commercial featuring Lil Uzi Vert. And Forever by Lil Wayne. So.
Okay, I do remember going through this. I think there was a couple on here that I did enjoy.
Stop reading.
So
no.
why are you reading his secrets?
They're my secrets too.
Damn it.
But I'm gonna. How about we start with Bruce, just because he's got the shortest list, I think. Technically,
me.
you do actually, but
Mm,
I want to talk about yours more.
okay.
So we start with Bruce.
So we're starting with Stick to Your Guns.
By Stick to Your Guns.
Yes, mind you, this is not the metalcore band. This is another band entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they got away with this. They're probably in another country, if so. Because the same thing happened with Ghost.
80s hair metal sound.
Yes, and it is very much just that.
It is nice to listen to, though.
I wasn't too impressed with it, but I think it's because I've heard enough of that probably in my life.
I like the sound, but I just didn't like the way they did it.
Yeah,
That's
because like you look at you have Motley Crue, GNR, and groups like that, which are very much that style.
Yeah.
And I like when it's done in that form. What we had for Stick to Your Guns, I personally I don't think they executed it too well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were going. If you didn't know any better, you'd think it was from the 80s. Like, it's so dated in the way it sounds.
Which could be what they were going for.
And it absolutely was. I don't know, something about it. I think, for me, I think it was just too simplistic. I think that was my only issue with it.
I actually think that was one of my favorite parts about it, because it was something that I could just put on and enjoy, and I didn't have to worry about all the complexities about it.
Mm.
I'm all for simple music, like simple structure and stuff, but like, I think for me it dragged on a little bit too long for how simple it was, and I was like, is it over yet? Because I actually looked and I was like, is this over? Am I done with this yet? And I was like, oh, I got another song after this one. Okay. So that was kind of just my whole take on it, personally.
Yeah, I didn't have any like real standouts off of it.
Yeah.
But
I think moving on, we have our hip hop album, although iTunes classifies this as a pop album.
well, I mean, it's definitely punk rap.
This is true. But we have I'm Gone by, I think it's Iann Dior.
I believe so.
Iann Dior, one of the two. We're probably butchering the hell out of that.
Probably. It happens.
I wanted more of this.
It was a dope album.
9 songs, it's not long enough.
It's not.
I absolutely love this.
I think I listened to the song. I listened to the album about 5 times this week. I just couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, I love every song on here. I think Pretty Girls and Shameless are 2 of my favorites that stood out to me.
Yes.
Shameless felt way too short.
It does, though.
Like,
Way
it was
too
going
short.
through, he ripped a verse, did a chorus, ripped another verse, did another chorus, and it closed. I was like, that's it? I want more. It very much is that punk rap feeling that you get out of it. And I love his voice, I love his flow, I love his lyrics. I want more of that. Where? Who told him to write 9 songs?
I don't know. I never heard of him before this album, but
I think I've heard the name before. I've never listened to his stuff. I might dive a little bit though, because I did enjoy this.
I was listening to his his artist, well, not artist radio, but I was listening, I guess you could call it that, on Pandora, and it was good. Dude is dope. Another album from this genre I wanted to highlight is Dizzy Wright and Demrick's Blaze With Us Too. It's a solid stoner rap album, real simplistic. I liked Hotline, We Ain't the Same, I Want It Now, and Riding High were the 4 standouts from that album for me.
Riding High, I assume, was a play on words.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, why
Stoner
wouldn't
rap.
it be?
Stoner rap. I mean, stoner rap's one of those genres where it's like, you either take it or you leave it. There's like, you either enjoy it because it's stoner rap, or you hate it because it's stoner rap. There's no like distinctive other reason why somebody would actually like it, from what I've experienced. So, that's just me. Because I've heard some stoner rap before, and it's like obviously it's meant for being stoned.
Yeah.
It's not something you can just listen to.
Yeah, it's not meant to be consumed sober.
No.
Or it's something that you get stoned just from listening to. You never know.
If that's a thing, I'm down.
We're going to have to start doing some research on this stuff. We might be new to the market.
I don't think it's possible.
Just
I've
you wait,
listened
we'll
to
figure
a
it
lot
out.
of Snoop Dogg and never felt high.
Well, I mean,
You obviously weren't listening to it right then, sir.
Also,
ASMR
I've listened to a lot of Red and Meth and never felt high.
there's obviously that misconception about ASMR that can get you an audio high, which is not actually true. That
Okay.
does not happen. You can be
You just
sensitive.
get the tingly feelies.
Yeah, you can you can become sensitive after, like, while you listen to it if you're that kind of person, but you don't actually feel anything other than like a small, like, you feel like a goosebumps basically. That's about it.
All right. There's a few singles too. A Boogie with the Hoodie dropped a track called Bleed.
Ooh, nice.
It's a very dope track. It's got a lot of Brooklyn drill type aspects to it. It's got that 808 woo
Mm-hmm.
that just Absolute fucking dope. Lil Baby dropped The Bigger Picture,
I love that song.
which, I mean, it's what we need right now, man. We
Yes.
need, like, I love music with a message, and that's exactly what it was. It had a message. It was a dope song.
I love I love the whole lyrics. Like
Yes.
the structure of the lyrics, the way he actually conveys some of the words. I love the impact it has.
Yeah. It's not what you expect from Lil Baby.
No, it's not.
Like, I think that's what made it even doper.
Yeah, he's one of those people. It's like you expect someone to be, waving around an AK or something like that,
Yeah.
and talking about some gangster shit. But no,
Mumbling.
mumbling some gangster shit. So I mean, it's no. This was very profound, very articulate too. I found it very enjoyable. But
And
I talked about this the other day with you. I did like how he talked about both sides of being, because there's a stigma that
yes.
black people are seen by the police as some sort of dangerous,
Yeah.
demographic. Whether you're a gangster who gets in trouble with the law a lot, or you're a law-abiding black male, or whoever. And he talks about both sides of that being still part of the stigma, because they're seen as one thing. So I did like how he brought attention to that, and so that was something I enjoyed from it as well.
All right. And what was it? On a less serious note, Pop Smoke and Roddy Rebel. There's a song that got released featuring those two called "Make It Rain." I thought it was a sick track. I loved Pop Smoke's verse, and Roddy Rebel's verse was actually recorded on a prison phone. Like,
Which was probably the most interesting part about that song for me.
It's not a bad song, but that is definitely like the weird. It was you can tell it's not like it's more authenticity in the song.
Yeah.
It's not like it was edited like when they were mastering it. It's not like it was just there was an effect over it. That was an actual recording. I thought that was actually kind of cool. Because you don't hear you don't hear stuff like that being done anymore.
no.
So it was weird, but it was cool.
Yeah, really cool.
A
That's
surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Very welcome.
Anything else you had, or
that's it for hip hop.
yeah, it's a little light this week. Just like last week, but I mean, there's not a lot of stuff coming out to begin with.
Yeah.
But moving on to our metal this week, which technically this is metal, but it's also not.
Well, what would it be categorized as?
I don't really know. I kind of want to call it electronic metal in some sense, but it's not quite that either.
It reminded me of like Japanese rock,
Yeah,
just in English.
right. I remember you
Like,
talking about that
that's
before.
So English Japanese rock.
It's like the Japanese rock style.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
But we had Greater Illusions by Shape of Water, and
Loved that album.
it was different. Just in terms of the way it sounds, because, I mean, lyrically, I didn't find it too fascinating. I like the guy's voice, don't get me wrong. Lyrically, I didn't find it too captivating. Instrumentally, though, that's what really... That's why I wanted to bring it up this week, because there is a metalcore, influence there. And
Yes.
there's also that electronic influence there. But it's not necessarily electronic, because there is... And a lot of it's just very simple riffing, but, it works in the way it's structured.
Yeah.
And the drums they're actual drums. You can hear an actual snare, and an actual kick drum, but they're not, it's not very bassy. And then you have the, what are they? I guess they're 808s in the background over that, or lying underneath it, or some sort of electronic drum beat.
I gave it one run through, so
It's some sort of electronic drum beat along with an actual, studio set. So that was weird too.
yeah, I thought the World Was Calling, which was the 9th track on that album, I thought that was, to me, it was instrumentally my favorite track, and I felt like I wasn't a fan of the way his voice sounds on a lot of the tracks, but I felt like this one his voice really worked for.
Yeah.
So
It was, like I said, it was a different thing, but it was welcome.
yes,
They classify it as alternative.
okay, I can see that.
So
Just alternative or just or alternative metal?
it's just alternative. Just alt.
Alt.
That's a little it's a little heavier than I would expect for alternative.
I liked Perfect Love. I think that was one of my one of the ones that I liked. Mars X was interesting because it had the piano in the beginning. And then it broke into the guitar, and I was like, okay, this is I kind of like where this is going. And then it broke into that synth electronic type of thing, and I was like, all right, now I don't know where this is going.
It's going somewhere.
It's going somewhere, and I'm gonna ride this out to see where it goes.
Yeah.
So I mean, for anybody who's into that, by all means.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I brought it up though. It's very, very different.
It was amazingly different.
And then this song dropped the day we were recording this, which is the 18th of June.
Yes.
Termina, which is a metal project by two guys right now, Andy Sizek, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, and Nick Nocturnal. Nick Nocturnal, they're both YouTubers. Nick Nocturnal is a guitarist, very good guitarist. He's very talented. He on YouTube does a lot of cover videos of songs for guitar covers and whatnot. But he has his own. He has a couple of his own albums, but he's got a side project. Right, he's got a project he's working on now called Termina. And this is with Andy, and this is the second song they've dropped so far. They've had Lucid before, which was months ago at this point. And now they've dropped The Abyss. And I've come to learn what Nick's style is by watching his stuff. And he is very much in that metalcore slash death metal realm, where he kind of blends the two. And that's pretty much what this is. And I love Andy's lyrics. I assume they write the lyrics together and they like come to an agreement as to what they want to use. But my God, those lyrics are genuine, and they are different than what you normally would hear out of a metal group, unless you go into that heavier range. So, and I love Andy's voice. He has such a high range, like such a broad range in terms of what he can do, because he can sing really well. And it's a very loud type of singing. And then his screaming, where he could be very high, or he can pig squeal, I think, too. And then he's got some really low gutturals, and it is just brutal. So, like I said, that's called The Abyss by Termina. They only have 2 songs, which is Lucid and In The Abyss, but they are very, very good. And I enjoyed the track a lot.
Yeah, it was a solid metal track for sure.
Yes. I absolutely love it. It's practically a breakdown through the entire thing as well, but I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. I love a good breakdown. But that's about all I have that's new for this and relevant this week. Like I said, it's a lighter week for us again.
Okay.
But
y'all so what was it? So Excision and Downlink dropped a track called Resistance. Because it's Excision and Downlink, the first drop I wasn't necessarily impressed with.
Right.
But
then once you go through it though,
that second drop. Oh my gosh, bro.
I haven't heard it yet, but I will, because I actually like some of Excision.
Dude, man, if you're a fan of dubstep, just definitely check it out, because it's just one of those. And Krakota dropped a track called Dreamweaver. It's a dope fucking drum and bass track. Yeah, it's just, I couldn't stop moving. But then again, that's just me with drum and bass.
So drum and bass is always good to have.
You just can't sit still and listen to it.
No.
Alex Ander. It's
two
weird
separate names?
Yes.
Okay, that's different.
It's separated, but it's one person. Can't See You. It's a house track, about that person you can't live without. Standard house shit, but I thought, altogether, it was a very good song. Definitely worth checking out. I.O. and Lights dropped a track called Run. It's a bass-heavy house track with a slow build. Vocals don't kick in till about 3 minutes in. It's a 6-minute song. We got Myrick and Graphics dropped a song called Parallel. It's another drum and bass banger. Just as I said, you just can't sit still through them.
I'm saying drum and bass is always nice. It's always nice.
And two of my old favorites, Timmy Trumpet and Cashmere,
Ooh, that's a good one right there.
featuring Zafar. Drop the Prayer. It's just full blown hard style fucking banger. Like,
Of course.
It's Cashmere.
just oh man, dude, some sick shit.
I know there's a band called Grey Days, which is one of this is pretty much what Chester Bennington was doing before Linkin Park.
Okay.
And they said a while ago that they were going to drop the album. I don't remember when it's slated to release. Let me check. That says it's coming out the 26th of June, so relatively soon. But they actually just dropped a track. It might have been last week, I think they dropped it.
Okay.
And I think they dropped a song called B12 off of it. I love every song on this album so far. It's not as intense as Linkin Park is. It's a little bit more laid back, but it's still got that Chester Bennington vibe to it. So anybody who wants to listen to the 5 songs that are out currently for it, please do. I highly recommend it. And then, like I said, that when that drops, I'll probably be covering that one.
Right.
But
we want to get into albums or shit we've been fucking with.
we can do a little bit of both actually, just because it's probably what it's gonna end up being.
we'll get into shit we've been fucking with, and then we'll get into upcoming albums.
Yeah. So recently I've been listening to 2 different cover albums by 2 different people. One is Thanks for My Covers by Nate Wants to Battle on the Internet. And it's 19 songs, covers from early 2000s, I'd say. All beautiful covers. I mean, some of them I heard the originals play after, and I was like, oh, I couldn't even tell the difference.
Yeah,
how well it was done.
Nate he actually covers a lot of it's early 2000s. So, ranging from A Day to Remember to MCR to Panic to Fall Out Boy, stuff like that. He does just about every song justice. There are a couple times where I felt like he was a little off in terms of key, but that's because of his vocal range.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like instrumentally, everything is done really, really well. I absolutely love that album.
I have to say, some of my favorites were My Friends Over You, Bill God Then We'll Talk, and King for a Day. Those were some of my favorites that he did.
Yeah, the fact that he covered Pierce the Veil was a shocker to me.
It was nice to hear, though.
It was very nice. Recently, I've been listening to a lot of Slaughter to Prevail.
Okay.
Deathcore, all the way. Alex the Terrible is a vocal madman. And then on Demolisher, which is their most recent track, that man becomes the spawn of Satan for that breakdown. That song is nuts.
Sounds like something else to give a listen.
You've heard it before. You've heard it twice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I played it in the cut list, and I played it last week.
Yeah, literally a week ago, you heard it.
Yeah.
We all heard it.
Well, I'll have to listen to it again.
We all heard the redundantly deep
Yeah, oh,
growl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I say redundantly deep growl, and he's like, oh, yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is
I
now.
can play that on my speakers in my car, and it'll make the entire thing vibrate.
Yeah,
There
it
you
will
go.
actually. Found out that Blind Witness had a song a couple months ago.
Okay.
Their last full-length album was 2010. The song
That's a good while ago.
The song is called Force Fed. It's different because the drums kind of don't match, in my opinion, until they actually start like rattling away at blast beats. But I like it.
Okay.
It's a nice welcoming for them to come back. So they do more. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
A lot of I Prevail's been coming up a little bit. My wanting to listen to.
I mean, it's I Prevail.
Well, of course.
Like,
They
what
recently
else you gonna
did
listen to?
They recently did a remix of one of their newer songs, which is "Dead on Arrival," with Joyner Lucas.
Really?
Yes, it's very, very good. I'll play it when we're done.
Okay.
I absolutely love it.
I got to hear that.
Righteous Vendetta had Gunpowder drop, I think, last month.
Okay.
No, that dropped earlier this month. That was
Okay.
the 5th. I'm excited to see what other stuff they come out with. I'm hoping there's a new album in the works. I assume there is, because this is the, I think, 3rd or 4th song that they've been putting out since their album. This is our past album, which was also really good. So I'm excited to hear more of that, which is more of a it's metalcore, but it's almost like what they're doing now. It's almost like it's a stripped metalcore. So like it's more, because like Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold was more of a stripped album in terms of complexity and layers. Righteous Vendetta is doing the same thing, but with the metalcore genre.
I'd have to hear it to know what you're saying.
Yeah, but like,
because like I can't imagine metalcore is stripped.
There isn't as much complex layers in terms of like how the guitars sound, how the vocals sound, stuff like that, and like a lot of like the post background noises and ambient stuff like that. There's not a lot of that in these newer songs.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what I mean. But I will play a couple. Yeah, I mean I've been like last week when I talked about like KDA and all that. And that's pretty much what I've been listening to still. I for some reason I've been on a Slaughter to Prevail kick. That's just where I've been.
Dude, I've been jamming to ASAP Rocky and Lil Uzi Vert.
Okay.
With like a hint of Future. And yeah.
I still think it's weird that Lil Uzi Vert is using the same font for his logo that Metallica uses.
I mean, you can see his influences. Like,
true.
Like,
I just think it's funny that he gets away with that.
He's an interesting character. I mean,
he's something alright.
He rapped over like a retuned version of "I Want It That Way," and rapped about being emo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's different.
Very different. It was on his latest album, and believe it or not, it was released before the album was released, and I heard it, and I was like, I don't know if I necessarily want to go run into this album, but altogether, it was a good album.
I mean, Motionless in White, I'm always blasting at some point because I love MIW.
You were wearing their jacket every day.
Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that jacket's also just very comfortable too.
It looks comfy.
But I love MIW so much. Yeah, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of variety. I've been kind of just stuck in a rut as to what I want to hear. But
sometimes it'd be like that.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
So, new albums?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
So Tiana Taylor is dropping the album.
Is that the name of it?
That is the name.
Mind you, these are all coming out with the 19th, roughly.
The 19th, yes.
Okay.
So they'll
I'll
be dropping.
have to keep my eye out for the album.
They'll be dropping pretty much when this is uploaded.
Yeah, well, they'll probably be out before this is uploaded.
True.
So
same day, roughly, though.
Yeah, same day. John Legend is dropping Bigger Love.
That one's probably going to be interesting.
Smoke Perp is dropping Florida Git. Black Eyed Peas is dropping Translation. T Grizzly is dropping The Smartest. And
really?
yeah.
Okay.
And A Boogie with the Hoodie is dropping Artist 2.0 Deluxe.
Ooh, okay.
So, and he's been dropping like one song after another on YouTube over the past couple days, and it's been good.
Yeah, all right.
So, I can't wait. He's supposed to be dropping well, the album's dropping tonight, but he was teasing a video with him and Lil Uzi for a new song. I'm like, this is gonna be dope.
I have for the 19th slated anyway. Atavist with 3 Absolution. Beyond the Black with Horizons. I'm probably gonna butcher the fuck out of this. Constellation, I think it's pronounced, with The Language of Limbs.
Yeah, you done fucked that up.
Probably. Cro-Mags with In the Beginning. Cro-Mags. I've heard them before. I've heard of them before anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Maiden has the Live Collection Remastered coming out. Lamb of God has their self-titled coming out. Definitely talking about that next week. The Moon and the Night Spirit has Aether. Mushroom Head has A Wonderful Life coming out. Mushroom Head, I think, hasn't had an album in 4 years. 4 or 5 years. So that's going to be interesting. They're in they're a weird industrial type of metal. It's weird.
Okay.
Sinister with Deformation of the Holy Realm. I love that album title, by the way. Switchfoot. It's coming out with Covers EP.
I actually seen it. They've been like dropping like a song a week off that.
I didn't know about that, but I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna look at that.
I didn't give a single one of them a listen, but I've seen them advertised.
Vile Creature with Glory Glory Apathy Took Helm. And I say I don't know. It sounds interesting. And there's another one here that's not listed, and there is another one here that is listed. I'm gonna save that one for last. But the one that's not listed that supposedly is gonna come out as well is How to Survive a Funeral by Make Them Suffer. I'm excited for that one too. And then this last one, Trapped. Trapped is supposed to have an album called Shadow Work. So
Name the last song you heard by Trapped.
I think everyone knows the last song that everybody's heard by Trapped.
Headstrong.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting
I've heard some of their other stuff.
because sounds change over time.
I've heard some of their stuff other than Headstrong, because they're actually not that style.
Really?
From what I've experienced, they're not actually that style of music. I kind of like it. So I'm curious as to what this is going to sound like.
Okay.
So I will probably be checking that out. I may have a lot next week.
Hey.
We'll see. I've got a few albums for EDM. I've got Above and Beyond are releasing Flow State.
Okay.
We've
It's an
got
interesting title.
Blaster Jacks is releasing Perspective.
Okay.
Blaster Jacks.
Let's see. Passenger 10 is releasing Kama Sutra.
Ooh.
Skrillex
Alright.
is releasing Show Tracks.
Yeah, I had a feeling Skrillex, because I saw
Yeah.
Skrillex dropping tracks.
Hold on,
Yeah.
what?
Skrillex.
Mm-hmm.
He was dropping tracks a couple months ago or whatever. It's like here and there.
I was running through my Serato and I was like, I forgot about all this Skrillex shit.
I had a feeling he was going to come out with some new stuff,
And-
like a new set. So
I've got Lee Burridge is putting out Melt.
Melt?
Yes.
Okay.
EDM has just intriguing. I don't want to say weird because metal has weird. EDM has interesting
Names.
for albums and songs.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
I've got
they're different.
I've got 2
Are you
EPs
sure?
right here I can read
Yes.
off that you'll probably like. Kill Your Heroes are releasing On the Reel,
Oh, okay.
and
Kill
Knife
Your-
Party is releasing Lost Souls.
Fucking Knife Party?
Knife Party.
Oh my
is an
gosh,
amazing
dude.
name.
We are
We're gonna have a good week next week.
fucking. What is this, 2010?
Apparently.
Fucking Skrillex, Knife Party.
And we had Nate Wants to Battle with Thanks for the Covers. So it's early 2000s, 2010 again.
2010 again. Oh, shit.
We're gonna have a good week. Next week's gonna be a good week.
Next week's going to be a good week for sure. Any news at all?
Not that I have found.
The Sky is Still Blue.
Okay. I found out that the original Post Malone.
Wait, there's more than one?
Kid Rock.
Oh, God.
He was Post Malone before Post Malone was a thing.
Oh, my God.
Essentially.
Think about it. Started off rap, now does everything but rap.
Yep.
He lost his liquor license. I'm trying to find the actual article.
Wait, he had a liquor license?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had a
his-
bar down in Tennessee. I forget what part of
Nashville,
Tennessee.
I think you said.
I believe
Huh.
it was.
Okay.
But yeah, he lost his here it is. He lost his liquor license for disregarding Nashville's COVID-19 restrictions.
Oh,
Yeah, that seems like it'll do it.
yeah.
So, yeah, poor pre-post.
Ivan Moody actually has been somewhat vocal about what's been going on lately. A couple weeks ago, he made a little video for Instagram, I think it was, and gave his opinion on like the whole, police thing, the unrest and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into an explanation because that's not the time. This is not the time and place for that. But he had that as well, and then he had another one a couple little bit ago. I think it was last week or earlier this week, and I don't remember what it's about. But he got angry that he actually broke something while recording the video, and I don't remember what it was. So I know that was
No,
the
that's
thing.
anger.
I know that happened, but I don't remember exactly what it was. That's really all I have for news, because there's not much going on. Other than DMCA being all the DMCA shit on like Twitch and YouTube and Mixer, where bands are getting the green lights from their labels to let people stream their music while they live stream on Twitch and stuff. So there's that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I've got nothing.
Okay.
Believe that wraps up episode 7.
Wraps ups.
Yeah, wraps ups.
That wraps it up. All right. So this concludes our weekly podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more songs, albums, and news to talk about. Till then, happy Pride Month. Black Lives Matter. Player, one love. Have a great week. Stay safe. Mosh and rave responsibly, and enjoy the noise.